D'Agostino. That's Brian Gross. And today we're going to talk some baseball news coming around from the league of the MLB. But first off, Brian, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. Watched some good sports this weekend. Had the UFC, some college basketball. So obviously baseball coming up this week with WBC and more spring training. So just excited to get started. How about you?
Doing good, man. My Buckeyes won yesterday. They got a big dub against Purdue.
Bruce Thornton,
Yeah.
too.
Hopefully we can get tournament bound, man.
Let's go. Three in a row against Purdue.
Yeah.
They're gonna do something.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, speaking of tournaments, Major League Baseball today announced the Spring Breakout Tournament. Major League Baseball is transforming the Spring Breakout from a single game prospect expeditions to a 15 to 20 games per year to a full single elimination tournament in the Grapefruit League and in the Cactus League. This is going to be set for 2027 and 2028. Each league will feature 4 round brackets to crown a champion in late March. Brian, I really like this, but I want to hear your thoughts first, and let's talk about this, man. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I mean, this is like, in my opinion, kind of the MLB version of the NBA Summer League. Showcase your prospects, let them play, get them in a competitive setting. It's a sport that you need to play games of to get better at anyway, and it's safe. So it's not like you're getting head trauma or it's like football or anything like that. So you can have like major injuries. So everyone's probably going to be safe for the most part. And you're getting guys out there getting good competition in. They're going to see guys that they'll see in 4 or 5 years when they're in the big leagues. And especially it's going to be your top guys. So it's not going to be this watered down version that some people might envision. Sometimes happens with the summer league. You're going to be seeing a full 9 of pretty good guys. If you go to any top 10 of any organization, they're going to be a solid baseball player. So I think this is exactly what the MLB needs. More and more exposure. Use your ability to have so many games and play so many games to your advantage. So just get them out as much as you can. Like stuff like this, the WBC, that helps a ton.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about this because, last year we saw Roman Anthony, we saw Travis Bazzana in these games, and as a baseball fan, you get bored of spring training. You get bored of seeing these non-roster invite guys that take the at-bats away from your top prospects because, your top prospects and your prospects are the future faces of this franchise. So to finally be able to see guys like Travis Bazzana, Ralphie Velasquez, who's been raking in Cleveland spring training, Konnor Griffin play more, Andrew Painter play more. To see those guys finally play against each other and have something to compete for, one, it brings, more exposure to that kid. And honestly, I think this will help front offices too. At the trade deadline, when teams are selling, they're going to pick out these guys and like, hey, you remember this guy went 2 for 2 in the spring breakout tournament? He showed some flashes. I think we can develop him into a really good player. I'm ready to see Vance Honeycutt and guys like that play, and I'm really excited about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think as a baseball fan, this is exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man, and speaking of Konnor Griffin, who I mentioned earlier today, or earlier in that segment, he hit his 3rd home run. Dude, he's been playing some good ball. 214 average, 101.124 OPS with 6 total bases on home runs alone. Man, this is a guy that's raked in the minors. 333 average, 942 OPS in 122 games. 21 home runs in single A and double A. Could he be, trying to get on that major league opening day roster, Brian? Do you think he could slide in there for the Pirates?
I absolutely think he can. Where he fits in is more the question. I think they like Nick Gonzalez and they like O'Neal Cruz. But in center field, I think O'Neal Cruz is not the spot they want him at. So I could see them moving him. I think you can't keep him down for too long. I think this is a guy that's going to be knocking on the door by April, May, definitely before Memorial Day. At 19, 6'4", like 230, dude's a fucking beast already. I know his slashing numbers aren't great necessarily, but he's only striking out 13% of the time. He's just not walking. So that'll happen. He's just trying to make a name for himself. Look a lot better in spring training, hitting 250 with 7 bombs and 2% walk percentage. Like, I'm sure in the regular season he's going to take a much more reserved approach. Your spring training approach is not going to be the same, especially when you want to make the team as a young kid. And his job's going to be different. So I just don't think you can keep this kid down, especially with the way they went after it this offseason. They envision themselves as contenders, like it or not, whether you believe it or don't. They envision themselves as that. They showed us it at the trade deadline. Actions speak louder than words. So signing and trading for the guys they did, I absolutely think he's going to be up there by Memorial Day. Will he be there on opening day? I think he should. I don't think he will be, but I think he should. What about you?
I don't think he will be, but I honestly, if I was the Pirates, I'd slide him over at third. Jared Tirolo is not a good ball player in my mind. I think that if they give
No.
Konnor Griffin reps
Dog
early
shit.
on, like any top prospect, if when you're a team like the Pirates, getting your top prospects, former first round picks, some reps early on, get exposure to the big leagues. That's just going to help them, even if they're not ready. Just getting
Absolutely.
experience, getting in that routine, understanding what adjustments you need to make. I think Konnor Griffin is ready for that. And I also think they like Nick Gonzalez a lot, that they want to try him at shortstop. I know Griffin, he has a plus arm and good range. That's perfect for third base. I think that's perfect for him.
Yeah.
And especially as a team that's trying to get better and is trying to win, a team that brought in Marcelo Zuna, Jake Magnum, Brandon Lau, Ryan O'Hearn, and the password. I mean, these are pretty legit guys that they're bringing in. It's not like they're rolling over and playing dead. Those aren't the same Pirates. These Pirates are trying to win and create a window while they have Paul Skeens. So my question for you is, do you think they'll be a legitimate contender, a playoff contender with these new pieces they added, and potentially Konnor Griffin making the open day roster?
Absolutely. I like now thinking about this. I mentioned this before, our briefing before. I compare them a lot to like maybe the Royals a year or two ago. I feel like they're like a lot of young pieces away. They have very good starting pitching. Bullpens, interesting. But starting pitching is insane. And they kind of have everybody coming together at the same time, which is a great thing for them. And they also have the Royals advantage, the same advantage the Royals did. Both Centrals are just, I don't think they're bad divisions. People kind of always call them bad divisions. They're just not like top heavy to
Or
where there's always one
younger
team.
teams. All of them are young.
Yes. Yeah. And there's not really like huge payroll teams like the Cubs kind of, but they really couldn't even keep their own big guy. So it's one of those things like it's an open division. It's kind of a rotating door, not in a bad sense, just in that a sense that there's just not as much of a top head in each division. So I think that's going to help them a lot. But I definitely think they can compete, man. Like if you get 20 wins from Skeens, 15, okay, maybe 15 is a lot from Chandler, 12 from Chandler, 12 from Jones. I mean, right there, you're setting yourself up pretty nice. So
Yeah.
I definitely think they can.
Dude, they got the rotation depth. They got a really good rotation, starting rotation. Like you said, their bullpen's a little bit icky, with especially when you have guys like Dennis Santana as your closer. That's a little like an issue for me. I think that they could find somebody better.
Yeah.
But man, this team for years now has had not the ability to score runs and has struggled to score runs.
Mhm.
And that's why they're around 71 to 75 wins a year. If they're going to make that jump, and I think they will, I think they'll get over their 79.5 win total.
I agree.
Their pitching's going to be spot on. If everybody stays healthy, that's the thing, especially with the addition of Jose Urquidy, who's been a really good starting pitcher everywhere he's been. Mike Clevenger, too. Maybe he makes that jump back to what he was in 18. I doubt it.
Yeah, Mitch Keller's not awful.
No,
too.
Mitch Keller's good, too. Yeah. But
Good number 3-4.
yeah, and Mason Montgomery came over too from the Rays. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
He's very left-handed pitcher with a lot of upside. To me, this Pirates team has a threat. They'll be a threatening team, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think they're on a trajectory to make the playoffs at some point. But on paper, as of now, I'm going to say that they're just going to be a competitive ball club. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll get around 81, 82 wins. They'll be around 500, just from what they have right now. Maybe they make that jump. You never know. This is baseball, but I still think there's still a little bit of holes on this team, especially with that bullpen.
It's definitely more of kind of like the Reds last year. Like it'd be a backdoor playoff appearance where just some teams you would have to have a Brewers or a Mets just completely, or maybe even the Braves again, which I just doubt. But you'd have to have a team like that completely fall off the face of the planet last year for it to happen. So
yeah, exactly. Speaking of somebody falling off the face of the planet, Yordan Alvarez, he made his return. Grapefruit League debut. He went 0 for 2 today, or as of the recording, they're still playing the game, but He's 0 for 2 right now with 2 Ks in his Grapefruit League debut. And their ace, Hunter Brown, he had a decent outing. Two and a two-third innings, 1 earned run, 2 hits allowed, and a K. Brian, this Astros team really intrigues me. They missed the playoffs last year on the second final day of the year, falling to the Tigers for that final wild card spot. Do you think that the Astros will be a legitimate threat to the Mariners for the AL West crown?
Legitimate threat? No, but I think they can threaten them. They're always a tough team. They'll probably make the wild card or be similar to last year. Well, they'll be close, but like as you're looking now, they're just relying on a lot of people getting healthy, and they're an old ass team, and their young guys really aren't. Like, it's not like their young guys are guys that could turn over the top of the organization too. Like Jake Myers, okay. Yander Diaz, okay. Like Luke Verlito, okay. Like I'm not a big Zach Cole guy. I don't really see him projecting too hot. Like Cam Smith's fine. I don't really love him being your top hitter. Yeah, you're relying on a lot of old heads. You don't have deep starting pitching. That's funny. We actually talked about this and literally started before, and we had technical issues, so we had to redo it. A little behind the baseball scenes for you guys there. And honestly, the more we look at this, Andrew, and after we talked about it before, I think they're worse than I'm actually thinking. I'm just giving them way too much credit for being the Astros. I think the Rangers are better than them. Their starting pitching's dog shit.
Dude, yeah.
Christian Javier being your number 2. They have to have be a 3.5 ERA guy, 1.1 or 1 or lower whip. That's a lot to ask from a dude over to Japan. That's not an overpowering pitcher, and he's not a great athlete. And usually, if you're not usually the great athletes that come over from Japan are the guys that can play in Japan. Ohtani's a horse. The dude's a freak. A lot. I don't know. What do you think? I could just go on for days on hating this team.
I don't like this team a lot. I still think because they're the Astros, they'll be competitive. They'll probably win 84 games. They'll be over 500. But I'm looking at the rotation, man. It's kind of scary. You got Hunter Brown, scary in a bad way, not very good. Hunter Brown, Christian Javier, Amaya. Again, for Japanese pitchers, and we've seen this with the Dodgers, Roki Sasaki and Yamamoto, it takes them time to adjust. They're not going to be good out of the gate. Very rarely, guys like Shota Imanaga, who he was a veteran, he's older, can adjust to that standpoint. We don't really know what Amaya is going to be. He's got the tools. So that's a very, interesting 3. And then Lance McCullers, and you and I were talking about this before the show. You don't know what you're going to get out of Lance McCullers because he's always injured. He's always hurt. And then Mike Burrows. Mike Burrows is okay, 5, but that just doesn't get the job done for me for this rotation. And I'm looking at their lineup too, and I'm not really liking it either. Jeremy Pena, very good ball player, hits for average, plays good defense. Yordan's just power threat, but he's always injured. Jose Altuve, you know what you're gonna get from him. Carlos Correa is interesting because he's older now, got traded from the Twins, produced a little bit better when he got back to the Astros, but low Perfido, Zach Cole, Jake Myers is, he's good, but this team doesn't really impress me, Brian. I don't really see them, being a potential threat for a World Series or American League pennant this year like they always are.
No, yeah, absolutely. They're just too old. Christian Walker's not going to do it for you. He's 35 at this point. I remember watching him in South Carolina when he played college ball. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he didn't really have a good year last year.
No. And unless Cam Smith and Isaac Paredes just absolutely start mashing, they have nobody on their team that walks really too besides Yordan. So they could I could see them having a lot of games where you could see I bet starting pitchers overs with strikeouts on this team.
For sure, especially Hunter Brown.
I could see a lot of double digits, yeah, and against them too. I think I even think against them. I could see a lot of starting pitchers having really good outings against this team. But I could also see this team going off for 10 runs in a game. So, and it's the Astros. As much as I want to not give them that credit, they are the Astros. So you gotta respect the prestige that they've built the past 10 years. I mean, they're the most respectful team. They're the best most established team. Even past Dodgers, you can argue 2020, whatever. I think Astros Dodgers have been the best two teams in the past decade. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you know, right now Fangraphs has Alvarez as a 4.8 WAR guy, and I think if he returns, they could be okay. But again, he
yeah,
never stays healthy. He'll solidify that two hole, but like, who else is gonna really protect him? Jose Altuve is almost 100 years old. Correa is almost
yeah.
100 years old. They're just an old team. We'll see. I think they'll be good, but I don't think they'll be a legitimate threat. Speaking of
They give
legitimate,
me like I'll tell you what, sorry to cut you off,
no,
but
you're
they
good,
give
dude.
me the vibe of like the Giants 3-4 years ago. Like
Oh
before they
yeah,
got the young influx of talent where like Matt Chapman was their big signing and
hmm
like we're young now and he was the youngest guy and he was 29.
hmm
That's like the type of team that I get from the
dude,
spot.
yeah.
Like 80, yeah, 80
I
wins.
agree. I agree because they're so veteran driven. I mean, they've been around, so they'll win games, but I don't think they'll be a legit threat at
No.
all. So no. Hey, but speaking of legit threats, my man, Chase DeLauter. The only reason we're talking about him is because he keeps raking. Yesterday he was 2 for
Dude's the
2
man.
with a double and a 2-run home run in his the Indians win yesterday, 8-3 win over the Rockies. Man, he's been slugging. He's been swinging it. He was, moved to the, DH because of lower body soreness. Was scratched from the lineup on the 25th, but he's batting 625 in his limited games with a 1.87 OPS. Number 46 prospect on MLB pipeline for a reason, man. And we've seen the flashes in the postseason last year when he's healthy in AAA. We've seen it. How do you think he's going to fit in this lineup? And do you think this is a legit booster for the Guardians?
Yeah, he's gonna fit like a glove. This is a good boost. Even if he provides you 15 with 280 average, 70 ribbies, just inserting that anywhere from the 2 hole to the 5 to the 6, maybe even if he's good enough to the 4. But I think that's probably taken up by the first baseman. But for the most part, I just love his game. He's a career minor guy that's hitting over 300. Anytime you see that, that's just going to light your eyes up. Almost has that 100 difference for average to OBP, which I think if you can have I think if you hit the 100 difference MVP candidate, like that's huge. If you could 4 out of 10 times be able to get on base, and he's damn near at that, and he has good speed. It's all about staying healthy for him. And I kind of mentioned before when we were talking, like, I love that he is in Cleveland. We have a great hospital system. We have a great healthcare team. We have a great, all around PT staff with the Guardians. A lot of our stars have had great longevity. So it's one of those things where I'm just so excited to have him up. I mean, if you could get him, Bazana, even Manzardo had the year he had last year with Hoskins platooning for him. Even if you get 110 games out of him out of platoon with DeLauter, like you just want to see this guy play. Dude's ultimate hitter, finds the barrel with everything. He just has a nose for hitting. And when you see him, he's just a stud. 6'4", 240. He's got the flow, every baseball player wants. He's got the beautiful lefty swing. Pretty good fielder in my opinion as well. So just a guy you need on your roster, especially for a team that is always going to compete for divisions.
Yeah, I think this was called for, absolutely, especially for this organization. The past, since 2019, Cleveland's outfield has been one of the worst offensive units in baseball. League OPS wise, always at like 618. Them and the catcher spot are always the worst offensive production on the roster on this team. So Chase DeLauter, he brings elite bat speed, high upside with elite power. Cleveland needs power in their lineup. Cleveland needs good defense. Cleveland's going to get all that from Chase DeLauter. I don't think he'll be an everyday player right away, especially with the injuries and he's had foot injuries in the past that have, been around with him his entire career. They're going to platoon him, unfortunately, with J-Rod, and it'll only be a matter of time until he takes the everyday jump. But with Valera coming up and, DeLauter coming up, Cleveland's going to have a scary lineup if those two can click with Kwan and Ramirez and Manzardo. They might have a legitimate offense, like middle of the pack offense. I'm not going to say like a top 10 offense in the American League, but middle of the pack offense. That's what I think Chase DeLauter brings. And I honestly think he could be a top 5 finisher in the American League Rookie of the Year. And we'll segue towards that. Who do you think will win the American League Rookie of the Year?
If I had money, the most of my money would go on Murakami. Just going to get a ton of at bats. He's going to have pretty solid hitters ahead of him. I like that White Sox lineup. I mean, I don't think it's like tops in the division or anything, but I just think it's a solid lineup that'll produce some runs, produce some fun for him. I think the best value is probably Basello at plus 1,000. Dude's a stud. That's another guy that's just gonna have so many guys on base for him. Reminds me of a Drake Baldwin. When you're able to like take that from a number top 5 pick and have Lee Rushman take his position like that, that impresses me, especially being a young guy. People have really commented on how mature he is for his age. And then I think another one, just to shout out another Indians guy, Travis Bazzana. Dude, that if he can get on base, if he can get on the field, he's gonna make an impact any way he can. And then I think a crazy sleeper, I think Spencer Jones at plus 5,000 is kind of wild to me. Dude has that short right field. If he gets called up, I mean, that dude could just burst out 25 his rookie year without even blinking. I think the funniest one, though, to just hate on him for no reason, just because I like throwing shade at him, plus 5,500 Max Clark is absolutely hilarious.
Dude, he's not even gonna make the club.
You might as well just give that to charity or the Salvation Army folks. I mean, people need it more than DraftKings. Just please don't bet on Max Clark. He should be getting no money in on his, and really anything. Really, to make the MLB, anything. If you find that on Kalshi, anything. Just don't like the guy. So, yeah, to segue from Chase DeLauter all the way to Max Clark, there you go. But what do you think? Who's your pick for AL Rookie of the Year there?
Yeah, for your bettors out there, if you just want to give your money away, throwing out George Lombard Jr., he's not going to make it to the majors. And Leo Taveras, he's literally in single A right now. Don't know why they are on this board at draft. Shout out DraftKings, but no. To me, man, I like Chase DeLauter a lot. I think he'll finish top 5. Munetaka and Okamoto are my top two right now. And a guy that I might get a little hate for, I like Carson Williams a lot. I think he showed flashes with a full year with the Tampa Bay Rays. He's got big pop, right-handed bat, plays a good shortstop. You could find himself in there if he has a good year.
I don't hate that at all.
But Samuel Basallo too, like I think he'll be, in that category. Amai, I don't know because we don't really know what we're gonna get from Amai.
Question mark.
Yeah, but if I had to pick right now, dude, and I'm gonna get hate for it, it's probably my pick's gonna be Okamoto.
I don't hate that. Yeah. I don't hate that. I think a guy like Jensen could be dangerous in Kansas City too.
Yeah.
So it's a good year. It's not like last year. I mean, it showed to be a pretty good AL rookie class last year. Obviously, Kurtz had one of the best rookie years anybody can ever envision. Big Amish, my favorite nickname.
Dude, and Drake Baldwin too.
And Drake Baldwin as well.
Stud.
And they both kind of stole it from guys. His own teammate Wilson had it for most of the year, and then in the NL, why can't I remember who was the leader before Drake Baldwin? He finished second.
Forget.
I can't even remember.
No, but
besides the point,
yeah,
it's one of those things that last year wasn't as propped up of a class before the year. But I'll tell you what, man, this year I'm pumped for.
Yeah,
I can't wait. The AL's got a lot of good young guys.
For sure, man. There's so much talent in this, in the higher level of the minor leagues right now than probably in a while. Especially guys like Spencer Jones and Chase DeLauter, who's going to make the club out of spring training. But to that point, Brian, this is going to be an interesting Rookie of the Year class because you can see guys jump up like Elio Taveras of the A's who can make that jump from, single A to the majors that towards the end of the year. He's not going to win Rookie of the Year unless every single shortstop gets hurt on the A's roster. But like Braden Montgomery of the White Sox, he'll potentially, I could see him making that jump to the majors, maybe in like July, early August. But there's some, very, very good top prospects that we're going to see early on in this year.
Yeah, like a Peyton Tolley, I don't think is bad. I mean, now we're just kind of going over every single thing at this point. But that's like another guy. Like, I don't think that's a awful. Like, he's gonna get the innings. So it just really depends on if your guy gets enough at bats and what the quantity is. And you got to think too, like if they're on a like Spencer Jones is great in theory to think about, but like how many at bats is he realistically going to get in that lineup with all
Probably
those spots filled up? You know, like
150.
not.
Yeah, like 150,
Yeah, like
200.
it might be hard to get enough. And a lot of these guys, if they're on a team like that, they're going to be used more situationally. So
Yeah.
that's why I'll tell you what, Carson Williams is not a bad. The more I look at his stuff, I don't think that's a bad pull at all. Or it could be somebody we don't even expect.
Yeah, usually that's how it
There's
plays
like
out, man. It's like,
some of these rookies, you could just find a guy that just finds it
yeah,
year
like
one.
Quan
We
a
had a
couple
guy like
years ago,
Tyler.
nobody thought he'd
Yeah,
even be up there.
how
Yeah.
Tyler Naquin was in the running.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, he's a pitcher. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all that we have for you guys today. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. We're going to break down Pool C and D tomorrow for you, the WBC. We're going to have our predictions for Major League Baseball as well. We'll break down the divisions. We'll talk more Yankees. I know we're going to talk a lot about Spencer Jones. What does that mean for Jason Dominguez? We'll float that out there for you to decide. Drop a comment below. Who do you think's going to win the AL Rookie of the Year? And we'll see you next time in Beer and Ball. From Brian and Andrew, we're out.
See you, boys.